Yo, third period is finally here. This is like, I've been waiting for this moment ever since she left. Now I miss Mr. Amechi. I miss Mr. Amechi.
Yeah, I know, right? You could just do anything I wanted.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Miss Maxine even there at work.
But it's like, I feel like Miss Maxud Miss Maxud was in her grouchy stage because she was pregnant with the baby. I feel like she's going to be nicer now.
I thought she'd be less grouchy because she stopped having pictures.
I know, I feel like... Keyshawn! Dude, wait. No, Golden. That means that we don't now you don't have to leave 5 minutes early. Cause she's back. Mr. Amechi just let us do whatever we want. Dude, I am so glad I am so glad that Miss Maxud is back. Oh my god, this feels so good. Woo! Go follow me on YouTube. I have a freaking YouTube channel. And I can't be filming in here. I miss this class. I miss Miss Maxud. And I'm glad she's back. For now. I literally did no notes, so yeah. Ah, that was loud. Good morning.
I am happy to be back. I miss my baby, I really do, and for that reason, I'm gonna ask that you guys take it easy on me this week, because it's gonna be a very hard week for me. Every morning I have to say bye to her, okay? So just take it easy on me, okay?
Okay.
All right. So hopefully you guys are ready to go. If not, while I'm speaking, please make sure that one by one, not all together, one by one, you guys go get your stuff if you have it. Okay? In the meantime, let's go over a few things. First things first, let's go over the 2.5 months I was not here. Okay? So I came up twice in my time that I was supposed to be gone, and both of those times were during 5th and 6th period, so I didn't get to see you guys at all. This was too early in the morning for me to be here. When I came up for 5th and 6th period, which are my smallest classes, they were off the chain. I mean, I have never seen my 5th and 6th period behave that way. And then when I would get up here, I would have Mr. Amici kind of tell me about all my other classes. He really didn't complain about this class, I'm gonna be very honest with you, he did. And then
Wow.
Mr. Todd and I were in constant communication as well, so he would really tell me what was going on. So, I will say that much that he did not complain about this class, so congratulations, because there are other classes that he did complain about. However, the grades in here were a little disappointing. Like, students that were doing really well weren't doing as well when I was not here. Now, I can say, yes, I get it, it's a different teacher, he had a thick accent, I get it, it was a little hard to understand, I get that. But at the same time, my notes were pretty easy to follow, correct?
Mm-hmm.
How many of y'all actually took down the notes when he gave them to you? Good. Whose notes were they? They were my notes. If you didn't take them down or you missed a day because you were absent, where could you have looked?
Schoology.
Schoology. How many actually checked Schoology? Good. All of the notes were actually up on Schoology, yes or no?
Yes.
All of the proportional and non-proportional relationships, direct variation, translations, reflections, rotations, dilations. They are all up on Schoology. And before I left, I made sure that I made my notes so easy to follow because I was not here. So if I got a substitute that didn't know math and Todd wasn't here a day or two, you guys would be able to follow them without a teacher to help you. So when I saw the grades, and I graded y'all's work until Thanksgiving break. So anything that you guys did from the time that I left up to Thanksgiving break, including that test that you guys took, I graded it. Anything after Thanksgiving break, Mr. Feature graded it. And that is why a lot of you passed. I'm gonna be very honest with you. That is why a lot of you passed. If you did not pass, that just means that you did not pass a progress report in the past, and there was nothing that he could do about it at that point, okay? But the majority of you did pass the semester, okay? If you guys went online and checked, you saw that. You guys passed because Mr. Features didn't feel like failing anybody and making you do the paperwork. That's not how he's gonna fly this semester. You guys know this, right? I'm glad, yes.
I have a comment. I'm sorry, I
No,
don't
no,
mean
no,
to
no,
interrupt
it's
you.
fine, it's fine.
But
You weren't here, so you
I-
know a little bit more.
I was here, I just have two things to comment on. Just because you passed,
Doesn't mean
isn't
that you
really
passed.
saying a whole lot. I mean, you passed. It doesn't mean you did the best that you can, but, you know, although, yes, with Mr. Amici, there were difficulties, just put it nicely, struggles. But I was very, very direct and simple with my instructions to all of you, right? I said, look, regardless, take the notes, right? And then, if you've got the notes, I will help you. Raise your hand if I refuse to help any of you. If there's anybody in here that I said, no, I will not help you, raise your hand, right? It was simple, guys. Hey, just take the notes. I get it, okay? That's not, I get it. Take the notes, and I will help you. It's simple, right? That being said, y'all are not children, okay? I've got children. Ms. Matsui now has a child, okay? You're not children, okay? You're responsible. It's on you. Now, if you sat there, didn't take the notes, and did whatever, played on your phone, talked to your friend, messed with you, slapping your friends in the face and all that, and then we're like, hey, I don't get it. That's on you, man. All right? So, yes, you passed, but that's not saying everything was great. Now, I'm not saying it was bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying just because you passed doesn't mean everything was great. Doesn't mean everybody did the best that they could. And I'm not talking to everybody in here, okay? Most of you did very well. Most of you did what you were supposed to do.
You guys did, and your grades reflected it. When I say that your grades suffered, I don't mean that everyone's grades suffered. I was shocked at some people's grades, but the majority of you kept your grades where they were. Okay, so I will go off Mr. Todd for that one, and I know that Mr. Todd was pulling you guys out. It was like a split class pretty much, right? Half of you went with Mr. Todd and half of you guys stayed in here. Am I correct? Right? Yeah, okay. So, and I think that helped a lot. I'll be very honest with you, I think that really did. So, once again, we're new semester, I'm back, I'm not going anywhere, okay, I'm here, I gotta finish the year off with you guys, okay? And my goal this year is to get you guys to the 9th grade, okay? My goal this semester is to get you guys to pass that STAR test the first round, okay? Nobody wants to take 8 hours of a math test, correct? 4 hours the first time, 4 hours the second time, right? We might as well get it one and done, yes? Okay, so is that everyone's goal? I wanna make sure everyone's on the same page with me, right?
Yes,
If
ma'am.
y'all really like math, then you can fail it on purpose, but otherwise, I think everyone wants to be one and done, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's do that, all right? So with that said, let's get back into the classroom expectations. They're the same before I left, as before I left. Get what I'm saying? Okay, so what my classroom expectations were before I left, they're the same now, okay? When you come in, grab your ISN, grab your calculator, grab something to write with, sit down, get ready for class. Are there electronic devices while I or Mr. Todd are speaking?
No.
Not at all. If we're giving instruction or we're trying to teach you guys something, are there any electronic devices?
No.
No. When can you use your electronic device?
When you're done with all your work.
Independent work, and if I give you permission, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, yes, those two things have to go. If I do give you permission for your electronic devices, what must you have to be able to use them?
Headphones.
Headphones, right? I should be able to hear your electronic devices, okay? So I want to make sure that that is very clear with you guys, all right? Who dismissed choices, you guys?
You.
We do, okay? So you guys don't just get it. Do we ever line up at the door?
No.
No, that's a safety hazard, right? There's only one way in, one way out. So if you guys are blocking the door and God forbid there's an emergency, people that need to get in will not be able to, so we never block that door, okay? Any questions? I feel like I've covered a lot. Yes, Golden. Yes, go ahead. Amar, you had your hand up, sweetie. Did I answer your question or did you have one? Yes, go ahead. Go ahead. All right, let's get into notebooks. I've already checked my cabinet and and I don't have anyone's notebooks that they brought me like 2 notebooks at the beginning of the year. Remember I had said either get 2 of those small notebooks or get one of those large notebooks, right? So what I'm going to assume is that all of you guys are going to be using your notebooks from last semester?
Mhm.
Yes? Okay, that is fine. Just make sure you have enough pages. What I'm going to say is if you are using, can I use this for a second? If you are using a notebook like this that only has the 70 sheets in it, make sure you have at least half the notebook available to you. Because we're going to do, if you use the first half in the first semester, we're going to be needing the second half in the second semester. We have 4 units to cover before the STAR test, and then after the STAR test, we have 2 more units to cover. We cover 6 units this semester. Okay? So make sure that you have enough pages. Okay? Now, if you feel like, no, I don't have enough pages, I'm probably going to need to go get another notebook, go ahead. You have all week this week to go get yourself another notebook. What we learned today, we're doing all week. Okay, so we won't really be taking any more notes. If we do, it'll be maybe a line or 2. So make sure that if you need a new notebook, go and get it this week so that when we come back on Monday and we start something new, you are ready to go. Okay? Questions so far? We're good? Okay. If you are using the same notebook, which I think, and if you don't have a notebook, please make sure you have some paper today, okay? And then just get a notebook and staple the notes in, okay? Yes.
If for whatever reason you cannot get a notebook and need one, let us know.
Yes,
You don't have to say anything right now.
yes,
Let one of us know, we will get you it.
absolutely, yes. Thank you. I should have said that in first and second period too. Yes, I do for those people, and you guys know who you are, like I said, we don't have to go into it, okay? All right, here we go. Notebook, I need you guys to open to the next available page, the next blank page, open up. Okay? Well, don't start with me. Okay, because I have you guys do it. Don't start with me. Okay. Hurry, can I use yours, sweetheart? I'm gonna use yours. Thank you, sweetie. Okay, I need the right side to be a blank page. If the left side is a blank page, that's fine, but I need the right side to be a blank page. Okay, so when you lay your notebook flat, the right side should be a blank page. If not, turn the page.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, here we go. The blank page that I have you guys on the right side, fold it. Fold it in, okay? That's going to symbolize that, hey, that's the end of semester 1, we're going to start a semester 2. Okay, so fold that page. If you have a multi-subject notebook, you can just go to the next section of that notebook if you want. If you're using your notebook for multiple subjects, then do as I'm asking you guys to do. Otherwise, if you have a you can just go to the next section. Okay, so you have your notebook folded, right? You have that page folded. Go ahead and flip it. That is, hey, we're done with this. This is where the first semester ends. Start on the right side of the next page. Okay, start on the right side of the next page. So this side right here, this is your folded page. You flip it. This side right here, number 1. We're starting all over. Semester 2, page 1. Okay? All right, we ready? Here we go. You don't have to write the next slide down. So the next unit that we're in is unit 4. It's making predictions from data. This is the unit. You don't have to write the name of the unit down. This is actually the easiest unit, in my opinion. It is the easiest unit in terms of math. Okay? Half the unit, meaning what we're learning today and the rest of this week, deals with math, adding, subtracting, dividing. If you can do those three things, and what do you have on your desk to help you? A calculator, good. If you can do those three operations, you're good. The next half of this unit is looking at graphs. That's it, you're not doing any math, you're looking at a graph and answering questions, okay? It is a very easy unit, okay? All right, so the first part of this unit, mean absolute deviation. Go ahead and title page 1, mean absolute deviation. All right. Okay, here we go. So, I can get into like the, this is where mean absolute deviation comes from, this, that. I'm not gonna do that, okay? We're gonna just get right into mean absolute deviation. Sound good? Because the thing that you have to know is how to calculate it, okay? You don't have to know where it came from. Got it? All right, here we go. When you see a question ask you about mean absolute deviation, you need to remember the acronym ADSAT. Go ahead and write that down and I'll tell you what it stands for. So if a question says, find the mean absolute deviation of the data set below, you're going to do ADSAT. ADSAT. ADSAT stands for mathematical operations. Okay, it tells you what you are doing, and it deals with operations. So what do you think A stands for? Addition. What do you think D stands for?
Division.
Divide. What do you think S stands for?
Subtraction. Addition. Divide.
Division. So you're going to add, divide, subtract, add, and
Divide.
divide. Here we go. Step 1. Add all the numbers together. You might have 4, you might have 5, you might have 6, you might have 3, you might have 10. I will not give you 10 multiple problems of 10. You might have one problem that has 10 numbers, but unless you guys misbehave, I'm not going to give you 10 very often. Okay, step 2. Divide the sum by how many numbers are in the set. We're going to do an example, okay? So, when you add all the numbers, that gives you this sum, okay? Then when you always hear, like from the 3rd grade or from the 1st grade, actually, you guys started doing addition in the 1st grade, they said, find the sum of all these numbers. That means add them all together, okay? So you're going to add them all together, that gives you the sum, and then you're going to divide the sum. So what you got in step 1, you're going to divide it by how many numbers you have. So, for example, and no, you don't have to write this example down because we will be doing the examples together. Let's say that you have 1, 7, and 4. Okay, those are your numbers. Okay, 1, 7, and 4. What's the first step you're going to do? Add them all together. Good. So 1 plus 7 plus 4 gives you 12. Alrighty? Then you're going to divide the sum. What was my sum? 12. You're going to divide that by how many numbers you have. How many numbers do I have?
3.
3. So 12 divided by 3 gives me 4. Okay? Once again, you don't have to write this example. We're going to do 3 today. Step 3. You're going to subtract each number from the average. Okay? You're going to subtract each number from the average. You only want positive values. So if you get a negative, when you subtract it in your calculator and you get a negative, ignore the negative sign, turn it into a positive. Okay? We still need to use that number, but just turn it into a positive, okay? That's where the absolute part comes into it, but like I said, I'm not gonna waste time going into it, it's just gonna confuse you guys more, okay? So, when you subtract, if you get a negative, ignore the negative sign, okay? So what that means is you're gonna take the average, what was my average?
4.
4, and I'm gonna subtract each number from 4. So 4 minus 1. 4 minus
7.
7. 4 minus
4.
4. Okay? 4 minus 1? 3. 4 minus 7? Negative 3. And I'm going to turn that negative into a
Positive.
positive 3. Good. And 4 minus 4?
0.
Okay? Step 4. Add all the differences. These are your differences right here. So what are you going to do to them? Add them. 3 plus 3 plus 0, which gives me 6. What's the last step? Divide. So you're going to divide the sum by how many numbers are in the set. You're going to divide the sum by how many numbers are in the set. So, what was my sum? So go back to step 4. What was my sum? 6. I'm going to take 6. I'm going to divide it by how many numbers are in the set. How many numbers were in the set? 3. So 6 divided by 3? Okay? Let's do an example. We're going to do it together. Okay? It's not hard. If you follow these steps, it's not hard. Yes, Alondra?
Is it possible to get a decimal?
Yes, it is possible to get a decimal, and we will as we go through the problems today. Okay? All right. Y'all ready?
Mhm.
All right, here we go. So, if I do, you do, meaning if I'm putting it up on the board, it should be going where? In your notebook, okay? All right, example 1, write it all down. If you write this example down, I won't make you write down all the rest of it. Okay, write this one down. So, example 1, find the mean absolute deviation of the data set, write all of that down, and then write down the numbers. Alright, here we go. So the question is saying find the mean absolute deviation. Underline those words, mean absolute deviation. If you see those words, you are doing add that. Write that down vertically. Okay, if you write it down vertically, you'll know what you have to do each step. If you write it down horizontally, it's hard to do it that way. Okay? So whenever you see the words mean absolute deviation, add that. Alright? Alright, here we go. What does A mean to do?
Add.
Add. So we are adding all of these numbers. Go ahead and do so now. Take your calculator and add up all those numbers. Do not shout out the answer. You got it open? Ayush, what do we get?
397.
Ayush, what did we get? 397, thank you. Okay, we added all of those numbers. That's on us. All right, step 2 means to divide. So I go back to step 1, what was it? 397, and I divide that by how many numbers I have. How many numbers do I have? 5. So 397 divided by 5. Don't shout it out. What do we get? 79.4. Good. 79.4. Sorry, I should have used your name. All right. What does S mean to do?
Subtract.
Subtract. Okay. You can come to the side over here, and I'm going to show you how we're subtracting. So we're going back to step 2. What did we get from step 2? 79.4, and we're going to subtract each number from 79.4. So 79.4 minus 85. 79.4 minus 90. 79.4 minus 68. 79.4 minus 75. And 79.4 minus 79. All right, I'll give you guys about a minute and a half to get those values. Yes, ma'am.
Does the number from the division need to be first?
It can be second, that's fine. Just remember that if you get a negative though, just turn it into a positive. Okay, I think majority of us are finishing up the subtraction part, yes? Okay, so the first one, 79.4 minus 85. Raise your hand because I need to practice y'all's names too. Colin. 5.6. Did I say her name wrong? Colette, I'm sorry. I was like, did I say her name wrong?
She said
Okay. Okay, 79.4 minus 90, Caitlin. 10.6. Serenity, 79.4 minus 68. 11.4. That guy speak louder, Miss Maxine, it's a little old. Austin, 79.4 minus 75. 4.4. And Heaven, 79.4 minus 79.
0.4.
0. Okay, we go to those values?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's move on then. A stands for addition. So go back to the previous step and add up all those numbers. So 5.6 plus 10.6 plus 11.4 plus 4.4 plus 0.4. A stands for? Golden, what do we got? 32.4. Agree or disagree?
Agreed.
That's exactly it. Okay, last step. Divide. So go back to this one. So we're taking 32.4 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4.
5.
Good. Okay. Someone I haven't heard from. Amar, what did we get?
6.62.
Huh?
6.62.
6.68.
No.
Try that again. Mohammed.
6.48.
6.4. And Mark, you probably would have figured out the answer if that were the STAR test. If you got 6.68 and you saw the answer at 6.48, you probably would have figured that out. But it's always good to get the answer that is there. Okay? You probably messed up on one of the additions. Or maybe you divided wrong? Did you get 32.4?
Yeah.
Okay, did you divide it by 5?
I put 3.
There you go, okay. All right, any questions?
Nope.
Hard? No. Long?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I get it, all right. Really quickly before we move on to the next problem. What did we divide by here? 5. What did we divide by here? 5. We divide by 5 in both spots because how many numbers do we originally have? 5. That will never change. Get it? So if I have 4 numbers here, what would I be dividing by?
4.
4 here, 4 here. If I have 3 numbers, what would I be dividing by?
3.
3 and 3. Got it? You always divide by the same number. Okay? Yes?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do another problem. Here we go. Example 2, all you need to do is write down the number. So write down that it's example 2, and then all you have to do is write down the number. If you need to go to the next page, do it. Just number it 1 again. You have 33, 24.29, 22.6, and 20.63. What is my question asking me to do?
Find the mean.
Find the mean absolute deviation. So what do I put down on my paper? Add sign. Here we go. All right, I'm gonna let y'all kind of take it from here. Stop where you get confused, okay? Keep going. If you don't get confused, stop if you do. Use extra long question. But I like that you try. I do. I like how some of you guys don't rely on calculators. How to double check with calculators. But you guys, I love how some of you are showing you the work. I really do. It helps when you get the answer. You should have gotten 104. You should have gotten something else. Go back and add them again.
By 4.
Okay, so when you guys add up all those numbers, Keyshawn got the right answer, and you should get 100.52, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, good. What are we dividing 152 by?
4.
4, good. So 100.52 divided by 4, and I heard it 25.13. Good, 25.13. You guys, if you mess up on step 1, what do you think is going to happen with all the other steps? You're going to be wrong because each step follows the previous step. So if you mess up from step 1, all of them will be wrong. Okay? Okay, so 25.13. And then what do I do next? I subtract, and I loved how the majority of you, not all, but the majority of you showed your work here. So 25.13 minus 33, and then I saw somebody just leave this side blank and go minus 24.29, minus 22.60, minus 20.63. That's subtraction, that's not what? This is what?
Negative.
That's not negative, it's what? Subtraction, all right? So 25.13, 25.13, okay? First one, what do we get? Raise your hand. Heaven.
7.87.
7.87?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Second one, what do we get? Raise your hand. Carter. 0.84. Third one, what do we get? Mohammed.
2.53.
2.53. Austin, fourth one. 4.5. Agree or disagree on the last one? I can't remember.
Agree.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. I should have written it here. I forgot. All right. So then we add up all of those numbers. What do we get when we add up all those numbers? Someone other than Heather. I'm calling you sweetheart. I'm going to have to ask because I didn't look at my grade book either. Remind me, hon. Diego, thank you. Okay, Diego.
15.74.
15.74?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep. 15.74, good. And then we take 15.74 and divide by how many?
4.
4, good. So I divide that by 4. And what do I get, Marcel?
3.935.
Okay, so good. 3.9, what did you get? 35, right? We're going to round to the second decimal spot. So take the third number and see what it does to the second number.
So
Makes it go to a
4.
4. Good. So 3.94. Box in your answers. Wow. Okay. How many of you guys got to the answer? Awesome. How many of you guys got stuck either because you forgot what to do or you messed up somewhere? Okay, let's redeem ourselves. Example 3. I only gave you 3 numbers, okay? Here we go. your hand when you get done, I'll come check it.